A guy reached out for me asking for a solution for this issue. A new oil sensor has been installed recently because all the search engines said the same thing, but the problem was still there. So, what's the solution? We'll walk through this on a beginner's level, using as easy terms as possible, so stick around to learn more. So friends, first things first, grab some sort of scan tool you feel confidence in and read out some fault codes. I would recommend something better than the cheapest ones for like phones with free software, and that is because some of the fault codes regarding this issue is located in the instrument cluster section and not under engine. Why I'm saying this is because many of these doesn't support scanning anything else than the engine. Just so you're 100% sure that we're not going to miss out on anything. Feel free to comment below though if you know a good dirt sheet program to use for this. Once we have a full scan, however, let's take a look at P00196 and 00562 from the video title. The P00196 says impossible signal / no signal / communication. This tells us that there is no information coming in and out from the sensor. The other fault code brings a bit more clarity to this though. The 00562 says oil level thermal sensor open circuit / short circuit to B+. This means basically that the sensor isn't powered at all. This tells us what we need to check without guessing. The thing we need to check therefore is the fuse for the sensor. We need to check the wiring coming through the sensor and the sensor itself. In this particular case, we had 3 problems in total, so let's walk through this. This is the original sensor from the car. The owner saved because the problem wasn't solved, just replacing this one. As you can see, the connector is melted. This tells us that we have an internal fault inside the sensor. But there's more. Why isn't the problem solved if the sensor is broken? The connector coming to the sensor is also damaged, partially melted because of the shorted sensor. Time to put the car's ignition on, grab yourself a multimeter and see how much power is coming through the connector from the car. Feel free to use the probes in any variation you like. We need to have one ground, one with battery voltage and one with around 5 volts when the ignition is on. In this case we only had ground and no power at all. Turn off the ignition and make sure the best you can that the wiring is okay. Replace the bad connector and sensor before moving on. Now let's check fuse box. On most Audi, Volkswagen and Skoda cars, the fuse we're looking for is located on the side of the dashboard. Most common is a 5 amp fuse. This was the case on our Audi from 2007 and it was broken. Now let's turn on the ignition again and grab our scan tool. On most cars, this fault will still alarm you after you repair, and what you need to do is to erase the fault codes. Cycle the ignition off and on again and the car is fixed. And you know what? I'm going totally off script here, but when it comes to these oil level sensors and you're thinking about picking up a brand new one, because I recommend you not to buy a second-hand one if you're not short on time or something like that. If you're about to buy one of these, buy one from a well-known brand, one of the big players like Continental, Siemens, Video, Bosch, and some of those brands. Because the thing is with these oil level sensors, they tend to have poor quality, so put your money in a brand you truly can trust. And if you're pleased with your newly repaired car, you should hit that like button. And if you're into more car repairs, fault finding and things with me, you should consider subscribing. Now go out to your garage or your workshop and make an impact.